Okay, the last topic in this section is the law of sines and the law of cosines, and that is for use for non-right triangles. So you're only going to ever use the law of sines and the law of cosines if you don't have right triangles. Okay? And the law of sines is pretty simple. It just says that for any triangle, so the capital letters are the angles and the lowercase letters are the sides, that if you take the sine of angle A over the side length of A, it will be equal to, it'll have the same ratio as the sine of angle B over the side B, or the sine of C over C. So we're going to go right back to solving proportions again. If I have a setup like this, it's not a right triangle, so I can't use just straight trig functions, but I know that the sine of 32 over x is equal to, and then this angle, which is the sine of 105 over 18. And then I just plug it in my calculator, sine of 32 over, or the sine of 30, no, not that. Okay, so you type in 18 times the sine of 32, because you cross multiply, then you're going to get sine of 105 times x on the other side, so you divide by the sine of 105, and that gives you 9.87 or 9.88, so that's the value of x. This side is 9.88. Okay? Take a second and do this one over here. You can't see it very well, but do this one. Okay, so when you set it all up, you realize you're gonna find an angle, and that means inverse, so angle inverse. So I do 4 point, I need to see this. So I do 4.3, I don't know if I can do this. Okay, so when you plug all this in, you get 0.4334. Well, since you're looking for an angle, you do inverse sine of 0.4334, and you should get 25.7. So you plug that in, you get 0.4334. Since you're doing inverse sine, you plug inverse sine of 0.4334, and you get 25.7. Okay? You use the law of sines when you have two angles and any side length, or you have two side lengths and a non-included angle. Then you are able to use the law of sines. So if you think about that, you can't set up a proportion unless you have those things. Okay, and then the law of cosines is a little more complicated, but it's still really kind of just plug and chug. It's based on the idea that you've got a squared. It uses Pythagorean theorem and the cosine to come up with it says not a right triangle, would come up with the difference. So whichever side you're looking for, you just follow this formula. So let's say in this example down here, number 1, we are looking for x, side x. So let's make this a. So I've got x squared is equal to b squared. So we got a, b, and c. So b squared is here. That's 18 squared plus c squared. That's 9 minus 2 times b times c times the cosine of angle A, which is 32 degrees in this case. And then you just plug that in your calculator, and you get a value. All right, and you get 130. So you get 130. So you get x squared is equal to 130. So you take the square root, and you take the square root of both sides, and you get x is 11.4. 11.41. Okay? So you're going to choose which one of these you do because you want to be, the angle and the side have to be the cosine and the leading side length. So in this case, we're going to use x and 9. So we could use b squared because this is going to be b. This is going to be cosine. So again, we're going to have to do inverse to find it. All right? So take a second and find that one, and I'll come back on and give you the answer. Let me just show them this. All right, so we get 81. 81 is equal to, and then 4 squared plus 7 squared is 65, minus 2 times 4 is 8, times 7 is 56. So I get minus 56 cosine of x. Okay, so again, we're solving it a little differerly because this time we're going to have to use inverse. So I subtract 65, so I get 16 is equal to negative 56 cosine x. I'm going to divide by negative 56. And then from that number, I'm going to do the inverse cosine. Okay, so you get, after you solve this, and all I'm doing is following order of operations, just make sure that you follow order of operations. So I get down to here, and I get negative 0.29, because that's 16 divided by negative 56, equals the inverse cosine. So I take the inverse cosine, and I get 106.6. So angle x is 106.6 degrees. All right? And you're going to use the cosine, law of cosines, when you have two side lengths and the included angle. See how we had two side lengths here and the included angle, and or you have just three side lengths. So two side lengths and the included angle, or just three side lengths. Okay? All right. And then to turn in tomorrow, when you get to class, can you do these two word problems? Make sure you draw a picture first and then solve it. It's not going to use law of sines and law of cosines. It's going to just go back to using good old sine and cosine and tangent.